Let's get chilly. All right. Hello and welcome back to Let's Chill, the official, unofficial Minnesota Wind Chill, Minnesota Strike podcast. I'm Jeff.
I'm Jay.
And I'm Kane.
And tonight we are joined by Amelia from the Minnesota Strike. Amelia has played for the Minnesota U17 girls team, Minneapolis Pop and Dragon Thrust club teams. She's the captain for Edina High School. And of course, she is the youngest player in Minnesota Strike history. Amelia, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, we're really excited to talk to you tonight and get to know you as a player. You've definitely been around the ultimate scene for quite some time and got a lot of experience. Of course, we're kind of posing you as the youngest player, but that doesn't mean you're inexperienced by any means. So we're really excited to hear from you tonight. We're going to kick it off with we have like stall count trivia is what we call it. So Jay is going to bring in some trivia questions just to kind of like a fun little warm up that we're doing. So go ahead, Jay.
All right. Yeah. Welcome to Stall Count Trivia. We have 4 strike related questions for you tonight. The first of which. So
question is this everybody answer, like everyone can answer, right?
Everyone can answer.
All right.
Yeah, anyone can answer. So of the rostered players, what is the largest gap in player numbers?
Like jersey numbers?
Yeah, jersey numbers.
Oh my gosh.
This does not count practice players.
B 11.
Interesting.
That's actually right, Kane. It is 11.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
felt it's like 33, 44.
It is. Yep, it's between Julia Hill and Sarah Mextroth. Number
Nice.
33 and
I don't know
number
how
44.
I knew that, but I felt confident too with that. That felt good. Okay.
All right, the next question. When do the Minnesota Strike play their first game?
D.
Nice.
Yeah, good one on that. She knows her schedule. She knows what day is her first game. April 27th is the first game
That's
of the season.
reassuring.
Yeah.
That's a home game too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Nice.
It is.
Yeah.
All right. So what player wears the number 47? Okay, it should be noted that these are multiple choice. So like for people listening, I can read off the answers. It's A, Tori Gray, B, Sarah Mextroth, C, Julia Hill, or D, Emma Peasley.
Is it D?
It is not
No.
D.
Oh, shoot.
It's A.
It is A. It's Tori
Oh.
Gray.
It rhymes. Look at that.
And the last question, who is the last opponent the Strike play? Philadelphia Surge, New York Gridlock, Portland Rising, or Indianapolis Red?
I'm gonna guess B. I don't know.
It is not the Gridlock. That is their second to last opponent.
Dang.
Is it
D?
D?
It is not A. Philadelphia Surge is their third to last opponent. Kane, what did you say?
D?
It is the Indianapolis Red. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just finishing up my article about like the schedule preview. So I'm looking forward
Nice.
to that. It's
So
hard
you
it's
have
hard
an
to write
advantage.
about a game that's 6 games away though. I'm realizing.
All right. Well, we're going to kick off some questions for Amelia. Like I said, we have a bunch of questions for you. A lot of them came from Instagram. We put out something this morning on our story. So we're going to hear from some of your teammates, friends, and probably some strangers, I would assume. But we're going to start off with a fun question. Have you had any good April Fool's pranks pulled on you? Or have you pulled any good ones, like ever?
I have not. When I was like probably 7 years old, my siblings and I hid in a closet from my parents for like 3 hours, and we thought they couldn't see us. But this, like the past couple of years, we have not done anything. That was probably our best one.
That's hilarious.
Did your parents know you were there?
Yes. Well, and
Um,
for about 2.5 hours, they were gone, but we thought we had to hide in the closet the entire time.
Just in case
I'm sure they
come
were just
back.
happy that you guys were being quiet and just out of the way.
Yeah, probably.
How many siblings do you have?
I have two, both older.
Nice.
Do they
Nice.
both play Ultimate, or is that kind of your thing?
My brother used to play. He does not anymore, but he got me into the sport when I was in 6th grade, and he was in 10th grade. And I didn't like it at first, and he used to pay me a quarter to play for 20 minutes. So he still owes me some money from that.
Yeah, I'm sure he better pay up for that. Look where he brought you.
So are
No.
you officially then the youngest recorded paid player in Ultimate history?
Mhm.
That's a good question.
A quarter for 20 minutes
I don't know the official answer to that, but yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so now you're crushing it at Edina, like the ultimate capital of Minnesota, pretty much. Um, so I want to know, there are a lot of famous players coming out of Edina High School. What is it about their program in your eyes that makes Edina so good? Like, what's in the water there?
I would say the depth of how big our program is, and the coaches usually have been there for years, and like they kind of, especially on the boys' side, they started the program like 15-ish years ago,
Hmm.
and they've built it from the ground up. And like now, Edina has 6 teams between the boys and the girls team.
Wow.
Uh, Boys has 4, girls has 2, and I would just say like the pool of players and like the recruitment is it's what sets us apart from other people or other teams, I guess.
Yeah, it definitely feels like there's a lot of depth to the sport there. And it's not just a club thing. It's not just like a hobby, but it's like a real something that you pride yourselves in, which is really cool to see.
Right. And most of our players play year round too. We
Hmm.
do like our fall league, and then we do training in the winter. Um like we practice 2 to 3 times a week in the winter. So and then obviously spring, and a lot of people play
Mhm.
YCC or club. So that also adds to the talent. Yeah.
Cool. So as a you're primarily a handler, is that right? Especially for Edina, but just in
Correct.
general. Yeah.
Yes, correct.
On the field, could you describe like what your approach is to handling? Like what are you looking for on the field, and like how do you see your role?
Um I would say, I mean, it's definitely different for different teams, but
Mhm.
um I would say I just kind of feel like sometimes it's like I'm in a video game, and I'm
Hmm.
like looking ahead and
Yeah.
just like looking at what my cutters are doing and everything.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I just kind of it just kind of, you throw it to what's open, and you take some shots and see what happens. So I'm just having fun out there mostly.
That's awesome.
So you're looking to like bring your handler success to the strike. So when you were like trying out for the strike, what was that like? What were the tryouts for the strike like?
They were really intense. It was really cool to play with so many like really talented players from like even different states around. Um, I've never like experienced that before, so it was really cool to be playing at such a high level with them. Um, yeah, it was really intense, pretty long. Some of the like one of the tryouts went to like midnight, so that was that was a little
Jeez.
tough, but yeah, it was really fun. I had a great time.
And then a bit of a follow-up. Do you think you're going to be filling a similar role on the strike that you filled when you played for Edina? Or do you think it's going to be like a different role?
I definitely think it's going to be different because on Edina I'm like a main handler, um, and so on strike I'm my position role kind of is more of a reset handler. So I will be not picking it up really, um, unless my other 2 handlers are like way far away. So definitely different, but I guess yeah, different teams. I do like the change of it, so then I don't really get as burnt out, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. Altering the position you take on the team probably challenges you as a player as well to kind of keep adapting always. So how have you noticed that you have improved since joining the strike, and how are you looking to take that improvement into this season? Because obviously playing with the strike against opponents is something you guys haven't had the chance to do yet, especially at this level for you. So how have you improved and how are you looking forward to apply that?
Yeah, I think the like strategy that my player or my coaches and my teammates have taught me has helped in like my uh field vision, especially on the handler side, has improved. I also think like I've been working on my defense for especially to play against in or to play in strike games because I have to be pretty on top of my game for that. Um, and so I'm trying to improve my defense so I don't get burned during those games. But yeah, it's been fun learning. I'm learning a lot, and my teammates and coaches are great about giving me tips, which is awesome.
It's really cool to hear.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, go ahead, Ken.
Oh,
Sorry.
I was gonna ask, like, is there any overlap with the strike roster? Like, have you played with any of these people before, or is it pretty much just a whole new host of people?
I have played with actually most of the team, either on Pop or Dragon Thrust. Yeah, so that's kind of nice to know, like most of the team going in.
You think so? Like, would you say like your chemistry? Like, you still have to build chemistry. You're always doing that in a team sport like Ultimate, but like that's a little bit expedited since you've played with them, right? So you can
Right,
focus more on like the technical skills or some different aspects, which is nice, I suppose.
right. Like we know how each other plays, kind of. Yeah.
Right. So then what you talk about your field of vision, like your field vision, and like you already described the game as like a video game sometimes. Like when you have the disc, like what's going through your mind? Like, are you looking for certain players? Are you looking for certain plays? Like, I'm so curious, like kind of like how the gears work.
Yeah, I love to throw it deep, and so, like, the best thing that can happen is just, like, I pick up the disc and someone just toasts their
Yeah.
defender and just books it deep, and, like, that's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
I would say that's the biggest thing I'm looking for, but otherwise, just open hands, I guess, if I can. Yeah.
Right. Okay. What's your favorite throw then when you're going deep? Just a backhand, or are you
Um,
picking?
I would say, yeah, probably backhand, but it doesn't happen as often. I'm usually force flick more, so I'll
Right.
take what I can get, but I would say backhand.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And I will say you talked about kind of being more of a well-rounded player, working on your defense. I was messaging your teammate Evelyn from Edina, getting some quotes for an article that I'm writing, and she said like you could pretty much play at any point and you're making an impact on the field. So she's like, you're mainly a handler, but as a cutter, you can burn your own defenders and stuff like that. So we'll like I think you had some high praise from your teammates. So that's cool to see.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, she captains with me at Edina. So, yeah,
Cool.
she's a good one.
So can you talk about like in all of your ultimate experience, who's the best individual or who's the best team that you've played against? And then kind of a follow-up is like, what did you learn from that? What did you take away from playing against some tough opponents?
Yeah, I would say probably the Roosevelt Riders with Chloe Akimi and Vivian Akimi and Chagall Gelfand. There's a lot of big names on that team, but we played them on Edina. We played them last June at high school nationals in Utah, and they beat us like 15-5, but that was a really big moment for our team because we knew like they were the number 2 seed, I think, and we were coming in like a lower seed, a way lower seed, and we were like, okay, we're just gonna have fun and see where this goes. and I think our team really like worked together, and we were kind of making the other coaches mad because like we were playing pretty well, and like it was fun to see. It was like really insane to watch those like big names play, and like you're playing against them on the same field. Especially in high school, that was really cool to see.
It is really cool. So like kind of going more about your ultimate experience, like in a broader scope, because you have a pretty big resume for your age at this point. Like tell me more about like your other experience, like U17 and pop, and like I guess I don't even really have a question. It's just kind of like a generic open-ended, like what are some other like games you've played, or like what are some memorable moments from just your entire career up to this point? I'm very curious.
Yeah. When I was 12, I tried out for the YCC U17 girls team, and somehow I made it. I didn't even know what a stack was at that point. Like, I genuinely have no clue how I made that team. But my coaches were amazing, and they pushed me really hard, and I came out such a better player from I played like 4 to 5 years of YCC. And I had great coaches. Couple of my coaches were actually Donnie Wood and Steph Wood. So Donnie is the head coach
Yeah,
of Strike, and then Steph plays on Strike. So
cool.
that's really fun. Um, yeah, I would say YCC has been amazing. I also played on in 2022. I played on U20 mixed, and that was the most fun I've ever had on a team. It was a really good group of people. So we made
That's
it.
awesome.
We won third that year. So yeah, that was fun.
Where did you play that year? Like in U20?
Like the tournament,
Yeah, yeah.
it was in Blaine.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that was the last year that it was in Blaine before moved to
Okay,
Colorado.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice. JK, do you guys have any other questions before we move to Instagram? Because like I said, we have like 12 or 14 Instagram questions alone. So, all right. Well, I will kick us off with some. Here's just a kind of a biggest an open-ended one again, is like, what is the biggest challenge you've had to overcome?
I would say injuries, and just like burnout too. Because there's been times where I'm practicing like 6 to 8 times a week, and that's just not like attainable in the long run, and so that
Mhm.
can cause injuries. Um, yeah, I've been lucky with most of staying healthy mostly, but yeah, I would say that's the biggest scare.
Yeah, especially in ultimate too. I feel like there's a big risk for like cutting injuries, or just I suppose any injury that you never know what it can do for you.
For sure.
Okay, another one. I'll take this next one, then I'll pass on to Jay. Who is a female matching player who you look up to?
Um, I would say Emma Peasley. Um, I met her last summer, and um she like plays with a very like determined uh like style, I guess, and she's very intentional about what she's doing, very consistent, and still makes like crazy plays. Um, yeah, and she's definitely a teammate that I would want to have and I would want to be. So I look up to her a lot.
Um, is ultimate a deciding factor in where you're going to be going to college?
That's actually a funny question because it is not anymore, but it was for a while. I was when I started my search for schools, I was kind of looking at like the top 10 teams of in the nation about like D1 Ultimate, but I my parents were like, you can't just pick a school for that because it's going to go away. So yeah, I'm going to St. Ben's next year, um, kind of up by
Nice.
St. Cloud. So yeah, they don't really. I mean, they're D3. They don't really have a team, but who knows?
Start one. You can make it
Yeah,
a thing.
yeah.
What are you going for?
I think I'm gonna double major in communications and marketing.
Heck yeah. That's what I majored. Well, I majored in English, but I'm in marketing now. So
No
heck
way.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We could chat after.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
So we read these directly as they are submitted, and this one says, "What's it like having that dog in you?"
Um, I don't know how to answer that one.
Does anybody here know who wrote that? Because I put all these Instagram questions in. Does anyone want to take a guess? It's a Winchell player who
I
sent
was
this one
gonna
in.
say, is it Brandon Mattis?
No, it's not.
It's
Okay, that's
definitely
something
Tanner
he would say.
Barkis.
It's absolutely Tanner Barkis.
It's for
Yeah.
sure Tanner Barkis.
He sent in the next one too. So I'll read this as written. How'd you get so nice with the inside flicks, bro?
Oh, those are my favorite. Well, okay. Other than the hucks, those are my favorite throws. So
Nice.
I practice those a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if you're forced flick most of the time, I suppose you have to be pretty good at it.
Right, right. Oh,
It's fun
Tanner.
seeing what we get. Yeah. You never
Yeah.
know.
So this next one's a bit less Tanner Barkisy. Are there any players that you try to emulate or model your game after?
Ooh. That's a tough one. I think I watch a lot of film and I think I kind of mesh a lot of what works for some people and like I like to take like one or two things from a lot of different players that I like. Um, but I don't know. I feel like on the field it's not really I kind of just try to take what's open, but I definitely learn a lot from watching people. But I wouldn't say it's like a I'm trying to replicate what they're doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that actually kind of answers that other question. What it's like to have that dog in you. You play your own game is what it sounds like.
Yeah, yeah.
This next one says, "How did you get your crazy vert? It's amazing. I'm so jealous."
um, I don't know. I threw a lot with my brother when I was younger, and just he would always train me to like catch the disc at um my highest point, and so he helped me a lot with that. But I got good calf genetics too, so that helps.
So, okay, that's interesting. That kind of goes back to what we were saying about you being a well-rounded player who you're primarily a handler, but I can't wait to see that vert in the end zone.
It's kind of hard because I'm 5'4" and there's a lot of people taller than me, so that always does not work out.
I mean, hey, you got to make up for it
Look,
somehow.
Yeah,
the all-time goal scorer on the Winchell Bevon is like 5'8", and I know that because
fair
I'm
enough.
5'8", and I know he's 5'8" because I'm like, see, I can do it too.
You can jump just as high as Bivon.
Yeah.
No, I can't. Not even.
And so
Not
can
even
you,
a little
Amelia.
bit.
Well, I have to know, have you measured your vert? Like what is it?
I actually did like 3 days ago. It's 21.7 inches.
Holy
Jeez.
crap.
Yeah. Mine maybe is 6, maybe. After I stretch, I don't know. That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Um,
5'4", but actually like 7
right,
foot.
right.
That's what I like to think.
Okay, next question we got was about the club season. What are your aspirations for club this year? Also, can we ask if I don't know if we know this yet, but do you have a team you're playing for this year officially? Club team?
Not officially, but I will probably go out for Dragon Thrust again. Probably a
Mhm,
practice player just because of college.
mhm.
I'm leaving soon, so I would be leaving like halfway through the
Right.
season. Um, and I might play for YCC U20 mixed just as my last hurrah before I
Yeah,
leave.
cool. So then do you have specific aspirations for the club season? Like anything in mind, I guess. That's kind of the question is, but
Okay, sorry, yeah.
yeah, no, you're good.
Um,
I interrupted the question.
I would say just maybe to like grow in my like I think defense especially would be my um my goal to grow in that and to grow in uh my like cutting, I guess. Like I think it's important to um be well rounded on the field, like as a handler, like being able to go and cut in a like helpful way on the field, not just running around in circles. I think that's very important and something I would like to get better at, especially in the club division.
Yeah, that's a huge skill.
Especially if you're gonna be taking that role of being like a reset handler on the strike, it's gonna be
Mhm.
important to make that handler movement happen. So,
Right.
True.
Right.
so when you're on the strike taking that role, what team are you most excited to play against?
Ooh. Um, I would say probably Radiance. I have a lot of players that I look up to there, like Don Colton. There's Alex Barnett. Yeah, I would say that one is my favorite or my I'm looking forward to the most. Um, it'll be kind of crazy to play them. It's really interesting to watch people like play and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, I'm on the same field as them. That's kind of a surreal feeling.
Yeah, that I can imagine. It's like not not like meeting a celebrity, but in a way, it's like this
It
person
kind
has
of
been so
is, yeah.
distanced, right? Yeah, now it's right in front of you, and right there's that weird relationship of you're competing against them, you want to beat them, you have that competitive flame in you, but also like been admiring them from a distance for so long, and yeah, kind of like a friendly relationship, but also competitive, and yeah,
Right.
that's
Right.
fun. Um, okay. Oh, we just asked that one. Okay, these last three all relate to food for some reason. So
Okay.
go ahead, Jay.
Okay, so firstly, what time do you eat dinner?
I do eat at like 4:30 p.m.
Like on
Uh,
purpose?
Like on
yeah, my
Purpose?
What time do you go to
yeah,
bed? 6?
like a normal time. No, so my
Well,
parents. Go ahead.
what time is a normal time? You got to give us a number.
Oh, okay. Well, like between like probably around 10:30, I would say.
Okay,
10,
okay,
10:30.
okay.
Yeah. So my parents, they go to bed around 7:30 because they wake up at like 4 a.m. every day. And so since we were little, we've always, I don't know, my family's eaten at like 4:30, sometimes 3:45. Like usually it's not. We've pushed it back over the years to like 5:30 sometimes, but today was like 4:45.
So do you ever have like an 8 o'clock like big bedtime snack?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Okay, yeah,
Snack, yes. Yep.
nice.
Actually, like a year ago, I went out to dinner with a friend and we had reservations at like 6:45 and I was like, this is the latest I've ever been in a restaurant.
I suppose, yeah, you probably get in before all the crowds come in.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, I love how Jeff asked if you eat at that time on purpose. Like, no, she's just like
Hey,
accidentally eating dinner at 4:30 every
I mean,
Oh,
like
dang it.
I get hungry at like 4 o'clock, so yeah, I'm pretty much eating dinner then, and then another dinner at 6. And yeah, I'm always eating. So
I don't even know how to like, there's no segue into this next question.
no, there's
What is
not.
your favorite way to prepare nochi?
Gnocchi.
Gnocchi.
Good.
Gnocchi.
There's got to be a backstory to this, right?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, I made uh gnocchi, I think it's pronounced.
Yeah.
I thought it was ganache, but it's not. Um, and so Yeah, we my couple of my buddies, we made it a couple weeks ago. It's pretty good.
Like, did you make it from scratch?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow.
I never had it before.
Don't you go to Olive Garden? Their chicken gnocchi is like the best soup ever.
Really? I'll have to
Yeah.
try it.
Oh yeah, you do. Fun fact about me, I was a waiter at Olive Garden for a solid 3 months during college. 3 months. That's all I could last. And that was the one thing I took away was their chicken gnocchi is the best you can get. So
All right. Well, that's good to know.
yeah.
Yeah, and thankfully Olive Garden doesn't get busy until like 5 p.m. So
There you go.
That's
And
also a plus.
what they don't want you to know, this is true. This is you can take soup home. They have to-go bowls. Not everybody knows that. They just think, I mean,
Good to know.
you can get a free bowl to go. So always ask
Do
for
they
it.
have like soup on tap? Where you just like walk in with a cup and just
Pretty close. They have these big vats of soup. Like actually, we're not
That's
I could go
great.
into my Olive Garden waiting experience, but yes, they do have like big bowls of soup that you just scoop. Yeah.
On tap.
Chicken gnocchi. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then the last question we got from Instagram is what is your favorite ice cream flavor?
Ooh, I would say raspberry chocolate chip.
Ooh. That's a sleeper flavor.
Yeah, I would say that's a underrated. That's kind of a unique pick.
Nice.
What are yours?
Uh I would probably just go with like the classic chocolate or like mint chocolate chip, maybe. Kind of basic, but
Okay, yeah.
timeless.
I gotta go with marshmallow.
Mm,
I'm any caramel type flavor thing.
Okay, interesting.
true. Like the bear
Oh, yeah.
tracks or the moose tracks or whatever they are. Like
Ooh.
they got the
Absolutely not.
Oh, what?
Oh!
Like the caramel like bites in the inside? Like, oh, I love those.
Those
Nah,
are
man,
Moose
that
tracks or peanut butter?
Oh, then bear tracks. If that's the
man,
caramel.
I don't know.
Whatever
Look,
it is.
whatever it's got like caramel swirls in it. That one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a going to. Are you an ice cream aficionado? Is there backstory to that or are they just asking?
No, I think they're just asking.
Okay, I gotta see who asked that because I think it's a teammate of yours. Now I'm curious. It might
Probably.
have been Veronica Jansen.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know
Okay,
her.
nice. Yeah, we got a bunch of questions.
Go ahead.
No,
She works
that's all
at an ice cream shop, so that's probably
nice.
why.
That's funny. Yeah. JK, do you guys have any other questions for Amelia about high school, strike, anything?
I
No,
got
I mean,
nothing.
I really enjoyed talking to you, Amelia. I think we really got to know kind of you as a player, and some of the extracurricular stuff on the side. It's always fun to kind of see the person behind the player as well. So I really appreciate having you on, and getting to know the youngest player in strike history.
Yeah, this was fun. Thanks for having me on.
We're really excited to watch you on the field this season. For all of our viewers and our listeners, we are going to be at every strike game this spring, really, starting April 27th, as Amelia got correct in our trivia, at Seafoam Stadium. So show up big this summer, the spring with signs, with your strike jerseys, and come watch Amelia and the rest of the team. And as we wrap up, I do want to say that this episode is hosted by the R1P1 Network. Once again, just doing some awesome stuff with our design, our thumbnails, all of our social media. So go give them a shout out. Oh yeah, all of our Zoom backgrounds too. And yeah, go check them out on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. Follow Amelia and the Strike on Instagram. And we will see you on April 27th at Seafoam Stadium. In the meantime, ka-chow.
Good chow.
Good chow.